when you are an emotionally mature person and you navigate from the heart, you will enjoy meeting those, like I was sharing in our polyamory story, that know feelings and emotions first. So the emotionally mature man, the emotionally mature woman, the emotionally mature they, we don't get judgmental. We don't cast a stone. We don't come in with an accusation or a dismantling, like the swordsmen that they go and do sword stuff. Okay, so you'll notice that a person who is curious is a person who is feeling first, thought next. And that's where we're headed with this one for right now. Okay, so emotionally mature from this angle where I get to have feelings, then I have the words come after, and I'm not picky about words. And I'm also not picky about beliefs or religion or your way of using morality or integrity or okay. So I'm an actual emotionally intelligent and mentally intelligent, mindful and physically intelligent, functional adult, 5D mystic, or adult. Okay. So that's where restorative embodiment, self aware, accountable, and regulating person is. And meeting people like that is really awesome because you have a person who shares not only how they reacted, responded, no, how they welcomed a person who loves more than one person, and they didn't question it, and they didn't get jealous with it, and they didn't get upset about it, and they didn't get all like, why is this happening? Okay, they didn't get defensive. They didn't make accusations. So they didn't say, oh, she must be traumatized. Oh, she must be a masochist. Oh, she must be a whore. Oh, she must be. This is for the she. The he's, they get just as much crap. The he's are going to be, oh, you're just a playboy. Oh, you just want to fuck around. So the stigmas and stereotypes are quite clear. The ones of us who can handle when they are presented to us in a way of having a conversation is who are the ones that get to expand the societal culture to welcome. The ones who are actively with the unbridled self-expression, they're all teenage versions of everyone out there is a Cusco. And so they're not creating conversations that will allow for the polyamory, for example. We'll stick to my lovely polyamory community for this one, to be welcomed by all. And as I concluded, and I was teasing towards the end too, we will get casted stones by women or men. It doesn't matter. So again, the men will just think you want to fuck anyone and that you're playing hard to get or whatever bullshit statements they like to make. Ignorant people. That's what I call anyone who sits in a cell with their shame cycle and teenage attitude. The women will think we're whores and we're people who want to ruin families. And I was just watching. No, I didn't watch it. I actively saw. I saw this person. They are an escort, and they were saying or wanting to inform of why men cheat. And I'm thinking, why are we still using only that? I'm an escort. Here's why men cheat. I didn't watch it. They're a PhD, and they're answering a question, I'm guessing, or someone is. But again, 99% of men married, these guys may have been caught, but they. So she's actually responding to someone who is an escort. But it caught my eye, and I'm thinking, again, the sentence in and of itself is perpetuating what are monoamory and monogamous stereotypes versus creating a conversation. It's still it's shaming. So there's shaming versus talking. Okay, so yeah, that's these sentences to me make me laugh in my butthole because there's a whole different way that I will talk about the monoamory and monogamous men who have hit on me before. And I am a person who doesn't say to you, you're a piece of shit, because I don't use shaming language, because I have actual self worth. I'm an actually empowered woman. I'm an actual emotionally and mentally mature person. I'm an open minded person versus an arrogant, narrow state of consciousness, non bilaterally integrated human being. And they are all people who have not gotten over whatever has taken place. So they're just projecting their attitude. I have nothing to say to people who lead with shame except for one. There's a good therapist. His name's Patrick Tiahan. You can go handle your projection with him. In the meantime, this is exactly why when I've met narrow states of consciousness, I don't give two shits. Their opinion matters not anything. Women, men, you can call me all the names you want. I am in the presence of an emotionally unintelligent, unaware human being. It's not arrogance. It's a fact that you have the lack of intelligence to open your mind enough to know that there are people who live a life that's different. I don't need to shame you. You're not even going to get it because you're in your biologically rude attitude from being shamed. You are bringing on transgenerational cultural trauma. Like this carries on with stereotypes. So here's what an empowered woman can tell you is men, women, and theys cheat because they, one, don't open their mind up to more. Two, they're possessive in a way that is of a low self-esteem human being because your 1-year-old wants one secure attachment figure, which is where that's fair and square. Now, three, you got a good therapist. You need to have two people who are willing to work together with each other to actively care about each other's mental, emotional, and physical well-being. And that means they need to have chosen their self first, which means they will have needed to open their self up to whatever it is that is their inner child and to become an adult. Once they can self-regulate, like Terry Real likes to share, that's when you have people who know how to say, hey, honey, here's my thoughts, here's my emotions. You're mindfully aware. He has a word he uses for the therapists he trains. I have a course with him. It's relational relationships, something like that. Okay, and so as we build a new culture, and today is full of this, we can build a way of knowing one with God. There's a way that we maintain value and our love and our honor, and not in the medieval times. We don't have to use the monotheistic word just so we can leave the people who want to be in that group or will be in the group. But the God that I learned about is all about love. And there's no creator in my book that will have decided to create fear. In fact, the angels work to help us to work out of fear. Archangel Michael cuts the cord, protects from fear. And so fear is something we need because there's the animal kingdom of which we're a part of. So, again, humanly speaking, we don't need the demon and angel story at all. And an emotionally intelligent and mentally intelligent and physically intelligent, a person with compassion will know all of this, which is why something like this is a limited sentence, which is perpetuating stereotypes, to say the least, and closing out a conversation. Okay, so here's where, when I present in general, no matter how I get responded to, I will create a conversation because I'm not offended. That's the part of when you have healthy self-worth. The ones who say, how dare you did that, you just cut a person out of being able to be opened up to something different because you got defensive. You got defensive because they were being a person who wasn't curious about you, and so they didn't see you. So they didn't welcome you, which means your nervous system didn't feel soothed. So your 1-year-old didn't get this. And now your 3-year-old is still with shame and or whatever's going on, and your 16-year-old's like, fuck this shit. All are white thinking, all of that. 1, 2. Oh, now you, and that is why it's a biologically rude behavior, because you're not actively aware of it. And then you have immature human beings. That's what they get to do. That's all they do. So anyways, I brought in a bunch of different things, and that's a good way to close us out. I don't want to make it too long. You got plenty of content today, but what I love to see are the people that are like me and you. If you are emotionally mature and mentally mature and open-minded, welcome aboard. If you don't like those of us who are open-minded, thanks for stopping by. I mean, really, the fact is, it's beautiful to meet men and women and theys, I don't know theys, but those who are actively curious and open to what is new. And then they actively are curious because they understand that they don't live in another person's shoes. Actively, they're not reactive to the extent of demonizing or angelifying a human being. So they have healthy self-worth. They're an active person who understands what it means to grow up in this world. And then that we have mystics and sciences, and we have spiritual, and we have non-spiritual, and that we have a buttload more of them. A lot of more stories, right? A lot of more ways that we can talk about things. So the only ones who make a big deal out of anything are the people who are still emotionally immature and prancing around like Cusco with Batman and Elsa and Peter Pan's and all of that, and they just think that they're doing God's work. That's how I'm doing God's work. Or they're doing science's work. I'm doing science's work. And however work they're going to say, they're not just a random ordinary person. I'm doing Maria's work. Anyone want to join? No fancy land, no prancy. It's being ordinary. Look how much fun. Anyone want to be ordinary with me? Come on over. So the